on how to get textures like that. One way is to make custom brush, which I'll show you how to make one in a second. Another way is to work, which is my favorite thing, is to work analog and digital, okay? So let's say we're doing this piece. And we're even gonna, let's say we even color it the way I showed you how to regular color. Like a wash. So what you do, you got this piece, you're gonna color it. Okay. Print out an 8.5 by 11 version of this piece. Okay. Grab some black and white wash, black and white watercolor, whatever you want. Color it with a big, broad brush. I mean, not color, but basically paint it in black and white. Spend 15 minutes. Obliterate the line art. Okay? After you've done your coloring, take that and selectively apply it in different ways to the top of the paint. And you will get brush strokes again. Okay? All for another 15 minutes worth of work. Now, how you apply these brush strokes is going to be the taste and way you do it. Sometimes you might want to take that grayscale thing you brought in, do a hue and saturation, apply it as maybe just an overlay layer on the flesh, and then maybe a little bit more of another thing. Move it around a little bit. Don't feel constrained by it, and don't feel it has to exactly match up, because you don't really want it to do that, because you want it to be a little rough anyway. Okay? So in and out of the computer. Don't be afraid of in and out of the computer again, because that's how. The more your hand can actually touch these things in some way, shape, or form, the less they become cold and digital. Okay? That was a good tip. Okay. Yeah, Jared is, beyond that, Jared is just an amazing painter. It's really cool to look at this stuff really close up, because the closer you get, the rougher it is. And you can really see that stuff. See this? This sort of like paper texture almost stuff? You can make that brush really easy with a Photoshop stock brush. Let's go into something that's not. Let's do brush tips. Oh wait, I already made them. I'll show you all this. The thing. So that's the brush shape. And that's a stock Photoshop brush shape that's in there. Then in shape dynamics, I have angle jitter. So this is how it would be if you didn't do that to it. It would just be this these straight patterns. You see, I'm going to take off some of these things so you can see things clear. We'll build it from the beginning. Okay. So boom, I selected that brush tip shape. Went in there. And I want the angle jitter, so it starts moving around. And essentially, I want it to work as a hatch, as hatch marks, essentially, hatching for me, like inking hatching. Okay. So see, boom to boom. Okay. You can even do the scattering if you want then to it. Scattering will take copies of the brush and move it around it. And you have control over whether their size. Oops, I'm still in shape there. Here we go. See how far the scatter can go? Moving that slider, you have a nice big thing like that. You can tell how many you want to do. Yeah. I want it to be a little bit rougher, so I'm adding a little bit of a paper texture to it. Oh, I don't have any paper texture in here. Yeah. Grab some of these papers. And the papers are cool too. You can scale the paper so the pattern can get bigger. See that? Okay. But that, again, it just breaks it up and makes it a little more natural. You can see now how that's beginning to look like this in here. Right? Then go ahead and go to other dynamics. So I have temp pressure on opacity. That way, if I press, the harder to press, the more color goes down and stuff like that. So then if I bring that out over here, I'm going to go ahead and grab this, make it a little smaller. Make it a little smaller now. See? Grab a lighter texture. Go back in. It's important I know how to make his brushes, because then I can tweak things if I want to. It doesn't look like it. Yep. The bracket keys. Okay. That is a handy little texture brush. Go ahead.
A piece like this, you can slide it up as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see what else can I show you. All right, so let's go beyond. We're going to jump beyond, but see, like even here, see how rough these are? I mean, that's just the pencil tool. Right? That's just the pencil tool. See as we get close? Yeah.
What you were saying about doing the hand painting and then layering the brush stroke texture, you would do that after you kind of finished with the most of the coloring?
Yeah, I would.
Last step?
I would, yeah. I mean, you can do it either way, really. I mean, you know, sometimes you can get some really happy mistakes off the. I would do it like, let's say you're 3/4 of the way done doing it. Okay, this way you bring some the stuff in, and you may get some happy accidents that you want to riff off of. Like I did something really neat in the hair, I'm going to follow it up by painting over the top of that part. You know, so that way, but it's better not to depend on it. If that makes sense. You know, maybe halfway through would probably be the earliest I would do it, depending on how stagnant I was feeling with the stuff I was doing. But again, you see, you know, again, don't be afraid of really being kind of bold and rough with a lot of this stuff. Again, that's just that's that right there. The pencil tool. All that is. So if you're looking at it, do you see like that? Isn't that pretty? There you go, that's better eyeball than mine.
So he worked up like in that size when he was
No, not at all. And you can't. Don't work that close. Don't. No, he worked, you know, probably about there. That's good too, because then you're not going to let that stuff bother you and think, oh, I'm not being tight enough or I'm not being whatever. You're seeing more the kind of, that's kind of what it's going to be like when it prints. Okay? All right, let's jump ahead and warp speed into some fun other stuff. Let's show you some other programs you might want to pull into your quiver.
What if you were doing a cartoonish style? You wouldn't get that painfully in a cartoonish style.
Probably not. Yeah, you gotta, each thing you're gonna approach, you gotta do it your own way. Whether it's, again, it could be a flat style. I mean, what could look really, let's say we were attacking something in that style, right? So I'm gonna do a new piece. Okay. I'm just gonna grab something real quick. I'm gonna make a little quick cartoony guy. Right. There's a little guy. Pick another thing. It's gonna be a little blue. Especially if it's cartoon, you might find it has a little bit of gaps. It's not completely. Good. And there'll be a little gap around it. And multiply mode. Now remember that brush I just showed you, the arty one that Jared uses. I'm going to go